as you get a look at Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara, California. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
To throw is Wilson. And incomplete to open things up.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson, he'll buy some time right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Javon Kinlaw in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Taking on the midfield logo. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. A first carry now for Dalvin Cook. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. It was Alton Robinson that time on the tackle. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's a quick throw out wide by Lance, complete. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready, because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes it's just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
Lance looking to throw on 3rd and 2. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. And they fake the handoff. Now Lance. Oh, into a sea of defenders, and intercepted. Jordan Brooks with it. And the Seahawksons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
After the interception, here's Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. From midfield now, here's Wilson. This is complete to Hawkins. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Well, this defense for the Niners, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. He finds his man, complete. That's Hawkins. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 29-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Wilson. Flushed out right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. On the move to his left. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. Good job starting on that scramble. Had his eyes on that first down marker, CD, but lost the most important thing, the football. Yeah, wasn't quite there. Focused solely on getting to the first down marker. Forgot to cover up and take care of the ball. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. A 6-2 is their record through the first 8 weeks. Now, Charles, what is your assessment for them in the second half of the season?
Well, I think that the road gets a little bit tougher for them. And when I look at their schedule, I see some of these road games, and I know those are going to be difficult. But this is a good team, so I'm going to go with 11-5. That seems about right, and I think that'd be a nice accomplishment, too.
A big play there on the catch and run.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Lance. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there. 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Niners have taken the early lead. Extra point by Nagar is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you. And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Forced out to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Buying time to his left. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
As a former defender, I can feel their sigh of relief after that one, because when he breaks out of the pocket and you face a mobile quarterback, he causes all kind of problems in your secondary. They were able to force that incompletion.
And Myers able to knock it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points. So
if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Working from the gun, Lance. And that's going to be caught. It's Rico Gafford. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too. Extra point by Nagar is up and good, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. Going up top. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. It's a big play there for Seattle.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season. As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is down to 4. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. These two teams trading touchdowns here in what has been a back-and-forth first half.
And ordinarily, we're trying to figure out how to break out of a stalemate. Here, you're trying to figure out if you can slow someone down while continuing your breakneck pace on offense. I know one thing. The people in the crowd, they're getting their money's worth right now.
And the fantasy owners like it.
Oh, without a doubt. They're just tallying them up, aren't they?
They're watching this game. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. From the gun, it's Lance. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
And I feel a little bit like a traitor as a former defender because that big man did not want to go down and refused to go down. If you're a defender and you don't get the right angle on a big tight end like him, he can run right through you like you're not even there, and he did a lot of that on that play.
Throwing on first down is Lance. And a dangerous throw there on the drop-off. Incomplete, nearly intercepted.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. The Lance going to throw. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and the Seahawks are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Out to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And the 49ers are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. CD, he tried to kind of lob that one in there. It looked pretty going through the air. The problem was it was in the air a little bit too long.
Yeah, that's a tough one because for that type of a route and what he tried to do and needed to do, he had to put a little air under it, and the defender was actually able to take advantage of it because it hung up there just long enough for him to get there and take it away.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And Lance now to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. A run there with Cook on first down, but it won't net him much, maybe a yard. 2nd down coming up. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Lance to throw it. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 23. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end,
touchdown! Rico Gafford with a second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Extra point by Nagar is up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Wide open receiver complete. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Wilson. He finds his man complete. It's Hawkins. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. He's got his man on the crossing route. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Wilson to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
On 2nd and goal, Wilson dancing to his left. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is down to 4. So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And, Charles, they got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Shotgun now for Lance. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He said, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw, it's Lance. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Lance. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Here's Lance. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cook. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it'll be 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now, we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So, sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers. He's got a man complete. And all the way down inside the 25 before he's out of bounds. It's a big play there for Seattle.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Hawkins. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Flush to his right, and he'll just get rid of it.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Going to give this time to the tailback. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. They'll keep it on the ground. Hawkins. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's got it. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that gives them a 3-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A give. This is Cook. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Play action. Now it's Lance. He's going to let this one go deep. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, 49ers. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished. Extra point by Nagar is up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Wilson. Catch is made by Metcalf. Touchdown! Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks on just 2 plays have taken the lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Throwing now is Lance. Open man is Samuel, complete.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Lance looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
This out quickly to Williams. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Play action. It's Wilson. Sliding out of the pocket. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Wilson. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fielded at about the 28. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. That catch good for only a couple.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Lance. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Now Lance. Eluding the pressure right. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Seahawks are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Well, a clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Over the middle, complete. That's Hawkins. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll make this a 2nd down. Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. On 2nd down, it's Hawkins, and only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll keep it on the ground. Hawkins. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. Myers' kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Here's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Well, they have had no answer for this connection all night long.
Hey, you just have to think in a 2-minute situation, that's got to be a concentration lapse. You know they're going to go back to him with the game that he's been having.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Finding Samuel. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. 1st down, and he gets out of bounds.
You have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
He's back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball, so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being...
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And we are tied. They return it to the house. And now Charles, the extra point, can give them the lead.
And they did it on defense. What a play.
So they're not home yet. Still a critical extra point here to break the tie. And they have got the lead. has the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do. Probably time for 2 more shots, and ideally, they'd like to get to midfield or so they have a chance at a Hail Mary on the final play.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty, and with that, the ball game is over. They said their goal was to win 7 games. They've done that pretty early in the year.
I think it's time for them to elevate that number and really make a big push to finish this season strong.